The star of this 1975 thriller wouldn't work, so a piece of music had to come in and save the day. That story up next on Retroflix. Who was the director of this movie? Steven Spielberg, perhaps the greatest director ever to live. Spielberg chose off the coast of Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts, to shoot this movie. Now, they decided to do this because a couple reasons. Number one was it had a sand, they wanted somewhere that had a sand sea floor, and this had that, ocean floor. And also, too, they wanted something that wasn't too deep, as far out as possible, and Martha's Vineyard had that. It was about 35 feet deep for about 12 miles out. So those checked both of their boxes, so they decided to go with Martha's Vineyard. At first, Spielberg wanted to train a live shark, but they realized that wasn't going to happen. So they actually ended up making 3 sharks. The first shark was going to be a full-bodied shark that would be pulled by a sled, and then it would rear up. The other 2 sharks, one would go to the right, one would go to the left. And because on the one side, you would see the hose, there would be a hole, and you could see the hoses and the cables. They didn't want to show that on film. All right, so they would have one shark that would go to the right, one shark would go to the left, and then have the camera angle for those 2 sharks. And so they named the shark, and the sharks are the star of this movie that I referred to in the title in the beginning of this video. And the star's name was Bruce. And they named it after Spielberg's lawyer, Bruce Raymer. So they went in this movie with three mechanical sharks. But what Spielberg didn't realize was the challenges he was going to face with these sharks out in an actual ocean. Primarily, he ended up facing these challenges. One was the salt water corroding the hoses and cables that were used on these mechanical sharks, and also, too, Mother Nature, the pounding of waves, storms, that sort of thing that could happen there. So that did happen. And these 2 things really took a toll on these mechanical sharks, and so oftentimes they didn't work. So Spielberg got to a point to where he was like, what am I going to do when these don't work? I can't stop production because we're already behind schedule. So they had to keep going. What can I do to make this a thrilling movie without showing those sharks? Enter John Williams. John Williams is an American music composer, and Spielberg went to John Williams said, I need a theme. I need a shark theme that is going to captivate audiences and show that there is danger without actually seeing the shark. And Williams ended up making perhaps the theme, the music that is synonymous with approaching danger to this day. So John Williams composed this, and it worked like a charm. I think it was even scarier. This movie was even scarier not seeing the shark with John Williams' music. And your imagination of, well, you know there's a shark there, but you don't see it. What's that shark underneath the water? The music, it's coming. To me, just phenomenal. It was scarier that way than with the shark. I'm quoting John Williams here. This is what John Williams said about the shark theme that he made. Okay, quote, it grinded away at you, just as a shark would do. Instinctual, relentless, unstoppable. End of quote. And I think it did just that. Spielberg would actually end up saying that it turned him into like an Alfred Hitchcock, where less was more. Didn't need to see the shark to be scared to death, and use your imagination. And I totally agree. I personally still can't go into the water I can go up to my ankles, but that's it because of Jaws. And I remember everybody going around that time. We were little kids at that time with the shark T-shirts on, the Jaws T-shirts where the shark was coming up, Jaws was coming up from the bottom to get the swimmer, and they had like little shark hats. They would go up. It was just I remember that from this time in the mid 70s. I remember that. So please tell us what you think if you've seen this movie. Comment below. If you haven't seen this movie, pull it up when you're at home sometime. Take a few hours and watch it, and come back and comment and tell what you think of it. And let's have a discussion about this. For those of you that haven't seen this, or if you have seen it and want to watch it again, here are the places right now that I see that you can see it. This may not be the whole list, but this is what I could find. If you have a subscription, you have Spectrum and Rediscover Television that you can watch it with a subscription. Renting, you can go to Row 8, Prime Video, Vudu, and Redbox. So those are the places you can rent it, typically from anywhere from $3.50 to $4. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Until the next time, that's a wrap.